Welcome to Spanish Fork Complex once again for the third and final day of the state championship 2A, 3A. We'll be bringing you the action here today. This is the two teams with one loss that play off here to see who gets to go into the championship game. And we'll see how things turn out. Got an interesting set. With me today is Lachelle. So there'll be two of us here. You won't have to listen to me the whole time. You'll have a pleasant voice that knows what she's talking about to help out here.
Oh, yeah.
So, Lachelle, in Grand County, we got Grand County against South Summit. South Summit, of course, is the seeded team in the number 4, losing narrowly to Manti yesterday to drop into this game. Grand has had quite the trip to get here. They won their first game over Providence Hall, lost to Carbon, dropped down and played Morgan, Union, Scrantsville, Canyon View to get here. I looked at the stats and I realized, they don't jump out as a team that kind of grabs you, but they gave up 7 runs, 1 run, 3 runs, no runs, 11 against Grantsville, and 1 against Canyon View. They're giving up less than 4 runs a game.
that's pretty amazing. You look at Grand as they come in as the 9 seed, and I don't feel like they're a 9 seed. The way and maybe just they peaked at the right time at the state tournament, and they've had to battle their way back, and I've been really impressed with them.
Yeah, and you look at it too. You're right. They knock off the 9 seed. They lose to the 1 seed. Then they come down and they beat Morgan, who's the 7th seed, Union the 11th, Grantsville the 2 seed, and Canyon View the 6th seed. So catching lightning in a bottle. And I think on the 2A it's the same way with Millard.
Yeah, Millard.
They've come out of that same situation and had to battle back too. The Millard Eagles have. So some interesting situations set up here. The end result is, like you said, playing right at the right time.
It is, and you can come in as we've seen, Carbon was the number 1, 2, and were knocked off yesterday. So it really doesn't matter. Once you get in the state tournament, it's anybody's game, and anything can happen.
Just got to get it going. So that's kind of where we're at. We will start, of course, South Summit is the home team, and they will take the field first. South Summit will go defensively. In the circle will be Indy Jones, and she's a fine pitcher. Alyssa Sargent done a tremendous job behind the plate. Emma Broadbent at first. Brooklyn Peacock is at second base. Ellie Reedhead at third. Avery Snyder at shortstop with Emma Olson, Malia Bowen, and Cameron Chandler in the outfield positions. So that's how they set up. By this time, the lineups are pretty set. There's very seldom much of a change in the lineups, so we'll see what goes here. For the Grand County Devils, Paige Shumway. I can't say enough about that little girl as she has pitched and pitched and pitched and pitched and just never seems to tire.
She has. I would be exhausted, and she has pitched every inning of every game they have played.
And the one game yesterday, she was a 14-11, so she threw an awful lot of pitches and then came back against Canyon View. So here we go, though. First pitch is going to be called on the outside corner, a strike to Paige Shumway. She already also leads off, and she's had several home runs in this tournament.
She has. She's an all-around player. Very quality at-bats for her.
Again, Indy Jones in the circle, pitching for South Summit. Alyssa Sargent with the battery mate behind the plate, pitching to Paige Shumway here. Top of the first here in the playoffs. I don't think that umpire can call that one a strike.
A little too outside on that one.
Great day after that first day and all the difficulties with the fields that we faced. Again, the grounds crew's done a tremendous job, and also the technical crew moving things around and making all these games happen. We appreciate Centricom for their work. That pitch is going to be low, ball 2, so it's a 2-1 count.
And Jones yesterday, she pitched a great game against Manti. Manti just able to, in the last couple innings, pull ahead, but Jones a very solid pitcher for the Wildcats.
Ripped by Shumway. Second baseman digs it out. Will she get it up in time? Does not get it up in time, but what a play by Brooklyn Peacock there to even knock that ball down.
Yeah, Shumway was on her high horse, and Peacock nearly got her, but just a tremendous effort by her to keep that ball from going into the outfield.
Effort there by a left-handed batter is able to get down that line quicker, and Shumway quick, but a diving snag. That looked like a sure hit, maybe a double, and she knocks that thing down. So that'll bring Hallie Packard to the line. She turns to bunt, pulls the bat back, and gets hit by the pitch. So she'll take a base.
Well, and that looks like it hit her right in the leg. So that's going to be a stinger for a minute.
So that'll put Packard at first. And the umpires always like to clean the bases in these situations, but it's nothing but a stall tactic to give the runner a chance to relax a little bit and recover from that. So right off the bat, 2 batters and 2 on as we have Paige Shumway at second and Packard at first by way of the hit by pitch. That will bring to the plate Lexi Carroll, left-handed batter for Grand County, also playing catcher. And she's done a tremendous job behind the plate for Grand County in the last number of ball games. Jones steps in, going to come high, ball 1.
And Jones also has that rise ball that she got a lot of batters to chase yesterday. So good job by Carol of being patient in the box.
1-0 the count here. 2 runners on, top of the first. It's going to be on that outside corner. Not going to get the call. Ball 2. So Jones just a little bit shaky here to start the game, but she's a tremendous pitcher. She is kind of shaking that right arm. I don't know if she's got stiffness or soreness or just trying to shake it out as she's working it just a little bit in between pitches. Ball's hit foul down the left field line. Be strike 1.
And I believe Jones has pitched every game for South Summit, but they have not played nearly as many games as Grand.
Yeah, you lose early in this tournament getting that drop down.
Yeah.
You're playing till it don't shine no more. 2-1 the count now to Carroll in the batter's box. That's going to be outside. Wow, whoa. Wait a minute.
It caught that outside corner, I guess.
Again, the delayed count throws me off. I see what I think of the ball, and it takes a while for the umpires to call them. So 2-2 the count. Lainey Bohannon with a powerful bat is on deck. Nobody out here in the first. Ball popped up down the left field line. Third baseman chasing over. I will take the umpire's indication that was not caught. Foul ball. Remains 2-2.
Good effort by both the third baseman and the shortstop. They had to have been pretty close to the ball because that was a high ball hit.
Reedhead and Snyder both with good range there on the left side of the field for for South Summit. Ball's hit up the middle, in the flare up the middle. It's going to drop in, and the runners had to kind of sit and hold, not sure whether that ball was going to be caught, but it was just out of the reach of the shortstop and dribbled into center field, and all the runners move up. So on the single by Lexi Carroll, bases are loaded for Bohannon.
And Bohannon, I saw her knock one out of the park. She has a big swing, so this could be a potentially dangerous situation for the Wildcats.
She's had multiple home runs in the games that I've seen. In one game, she had 2 home runs. So first pitch is going to be low, call it a strike. Strike 1 on Bohannon. And with bases loaded, nobody out, Grand County, whether this young gal gets a home run or not, they've got to get runs here in this situation. Because I think with the defense and pitching of South Summit, they better get a run when they can.
Yeah, you are definitely correct.
Pitch is going to be outside. Ball, 1-1.
And, Jones doing a good job trying not to give her anything down the middle because she knows she can crank it. So she's really working those corners at the plate.
Yeah, you got to be careful. Jam her inside, take it off the outside corner, but you don't want to leave anything middle in. A little bit high. It was middle, but it was high. So that will be ball 2. Again, top of the first here, Grand County South Summit, and it is bases loaded, nobody out, 2 hits already in the inning, and Bohannon at the plate with a 2-1 count to Bohannon. Woo! She missed her pitch there.
She did. That one was a money pitch, and Bohannon just a little bit under it fouls that one off.
I'll bet the South Summit coach is in there breathing a sigh of relief
right.
on that pitch. She got it right where she wanted it and just got under it. So it'll be 2-2 the count now. And a little bit of breathing room for Indy Jones now. She can go at the corners a little bit here. Comes too far inside at the knee, at the feet, really. So fill it up, full count, and nowhere to put her. Nowhere to put her now. A walk is a run. So big moment right here in the first inning of this I about said basketball, football. We're back to softball here.
Yeah.
Hard down the line, foul ball. Heck of a swing there, just foul.
And Bohannon did a good job turning on that inside pitch of Jones and just foul. Had that been fair, that may have been a base hit.
And I'll make this up, but Ellie Reedhead just ran into the pitcher to talk to her. I think she said, don't throw that one again.
That was a hard one coming right at her.
Yeah,
so.
I don't want that. So
No.
Don't throw that one again. Got something going on with the official out there in the pitcher. Is she roughing up the ball?
I think she is. Maybe a little saying it's a little slick or
okay.
Brand new balls.
And I don't know. I didn't notice the first game I did with them, but she keeps working that shoulder. Is that a normal?
I didn't notice it yesterday, so maybe she's just feeling a little bit of soreness.
Oh.
But there's the big pitch by Jones as she gets Bohannon swinging.
Looked like to me she pulled a string on that and throw a huge changeup right down the middle. It looked fat and sassy, but it was a changeup, and Bohannon was out in front of it and missed it. Great pitch by Jones.
That was great pitch by her.
That will bring to the plate Ree Wren, the shortstop for Grand County. Batting in the number 5 position. Base is still loaded. Now we have one down. Swing and a miss. Strike one.
And there's that rise ball thrown by Jones as she fools Wren.
Getting a little bit more back into a groove. She struggled with the first 3 batters and really struggled around the plate. But since going 3-1. Pop it in the air. Oh, diving attempt by the catcher on the bunt attempt. Not able to come up with it, but that is strike 2. They were going for the old suicide squeeze there to get a run across, and it was almost disastrous. The thing you don't do in a bunt is pop it up.
No, you do not want to pop it up. And, Grand, they got some speed on the bases, so trying whatever they can do to get that run home.
Trying to manufacture a run at that situation. They're playing a little bit of small ball, trying to manufacture a run, and the South Summit survived. Pitch gets passed. Late break by Shumway. She decided to go back, and probably wisely so. And the runner from second in Packard was almost at third. She had to turn around and go back. The benefit for her is there was nobody covering second, so they couldn't throw her out.
Right.
So 1-2 the count now to Wren. The pitcher question was asked about tape on the shoulder, and I can't tell if it's tape or a brace of some sort, but she is working that shoulder.
Oh,
swing and a miss, strike 3.
Jones just taking it to the last 2 Grand County batters not batting down and backing down, and Grand desperately needs to score with bases loaded.
Really are. They're working it hard and working through this with 2 strikeouts. Now, Portia Mitchell is the scheduled hitter here, but I believe they have not Portia Mitchell. It's number 21, and I'll have to look up that number. They do this with their designated hitter situation.
Yeah, I think it is Portia Mitchell.
Then I've got the wrong number then.
Yep.
So Portia Mitchell is up. I've got the wrong jersey number for her. My apologies. Fouled on the left. Well, it'll be well out of play back over the grandstands.
And that was the pitch Mitchell wanted. That one was right down the middle and just a little bit behind it and fouls it off.
So it'll be 2 strikes on Mitchell. And what a big break this would be if for South Summit if they can work out of this bases loaded jam. Oh, right down the middle, caught looking. So we end up with the first 3 batters getting on with a single, a walk, and a single. Bases loaded, nobody out, and 3 strikeouts in a row by Indy Jones. What a performance by Jones. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
The Beaver Medical Clinic has built a reputation of providing compassionate health care for residents of Beaver and Iron counties. You'll appreciate the professional services of Drs. B. Noel Robinson, Roger Smith, Wade Oakton, Lance Smith, physician's assistants Reagan Fales, Travis Hicks, and Kenneth Hussey, and nurse practitioners Robin Horton, Lindsay Cheney, Rebecca Rasmussen, and Wade Hollingshead. The Beaver Medical Clinic offers affordable health care and convenient payment options, with offices in Beaver, Milford, and Parowan.
At Auto Farm Price Ford, we make it happen for you.
Auto Farm Price Ford has your next truck at the guaranteed lowest price. Auto Farm will not be undersold. The time to buy is now. Auto Farm has a huge selection. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned Ford F-Series, including the unbeatable F-150, no one has more than Auto Farm. Find more great offers and all their inventory online at PriceFordSales.com.
At Auto Farm Price Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, we make it happen for you.
Yeah, I can. I guess I'm just a little bit deaf. I'm deaf in one ear and I can't hear out of the other one, so I don't know. Yeah, that's better.
You got me.
Oh, welcome back. We're talking about headset issues here. They were waving at us, and I was just saying, thought they were saying, is that better? Is that better? But no, we are on the air, so okay. That was a commercial break for Centracom. Centricom, that's what we were talking about, the greatness of Centricom, Barrett Hilton, his crew, which is his daughters, and all the work that they're doing. So thank you very much to them. Again, we're back here. It'll be South Summit's turn as we'll go to the bottom of the first inning. So Malia Brown will come up to bat, the center fielder for South Summit. That left hand, that big sweeping motion. We have Paige Shumway on the circle, and defensively, they're pretty much the same every game. Lexi Carroll is catching, Allie Jones at first. Here comes the next pitch. Going to be a strike on the inside corner. Trinity Bryant, second base. Hope Shumway, third base. Ree Wren at shortstop. Portia Mitchell, Lainey Bohannon, and Hallie Packard in the outfield. So 1-1 the count here. Swing away. It wasn't this, usually the left-handers in the top of the order. They go with that slap technique, but not so with Malia Bowen as she swings away there for the second strike. 1-2 the count. Ball's a little high. Ball 2.
And I like that pitch by, Shumway, just trying to get her to chase on that potential third strike, trying to get her to miss.
He just keeps coming with that left hand and swing and a miss off the helmet of the catcher or the umpire, whichever goes up against the screen. But I look at the motion of Shumway, and I'll refer to it a number of times, but her motion is so full-bodied. I mean, it's like everything she's got into every pitch. She kind of cups that ball, and she comes hard, leaps forward, and almost falls down sometimes, it seems like. But and in spite of that, she just keeps pitching.
Yes, she does. That's got to take a lot of effort, and she, mentally and physically as a pitcher, she's just done outstanding.
Swing and a miss. Pulls the string on that one. Strike 3. So 1 batter, 1 strikeout for Paige Shumway. That'll bring Avery Snyder to the plate.
I remember last year watching Grand. Her sister was another pitcher. She must have been a senior. So those two would switch pitching almost every game, but this year it's fallen to her.
So is a little third baseman her sister, too?
Yes, I think it is her sister
Just a
as well.
freshman. Nice pitch there.
Ooh.
Strike 1 for Snyder, Avery Snyder.
They called that a ball.
He did?
Yes.
I'll have words with him afterwards. Parham, come up here. We got to talk, Parham. So ball 1. Okay.
That looked really good, but I didn't see the strike call.
Okay, ball 1. Indy Jones, the pitcher for South Summit, will be on deck. Okay, 0-2 the count on Snyder. 0-2 the count to Snyder, the number 2 batter here for South Summit. Excuse me, 2-0. You're right. That ball's going to be hit towards shortstop, ranging over for it across the diamond, and that's good. Nice play from Wren to Jones to get the out there, the put out at first base.
Yeah, Snyder had some speed, and that ball died a little bit on the shortstop, but she stayed with it and made a nice throw to first.
Good shortstop. You're seeing some tremendous fielding play here in this 3A ranks. I've enjoyed watching it the last 3 days, and really good softball going on. Brings to the plate Indy Jones, the pitcher for South Summit, with Ellie Reedhead on deck and Cameron Chandler in the hole. Number 3 hitter here. And when she pulls that string, it almost looks just like a slow pitch softball move. And the coaches already, Parm's going to have to get on the coaches already because they questioned that call. But she actually has some arch on that changeup when she throws that thing.
And Jones is a big hitter, batting .495 on the season.
Wow. Does it again down in between shortstop and third base. That'll be the first base hit of the game for South Summit. And Mitchell will get the ball back into Bryant at second base. So it'll stay as just a single, perfectly hit between the two fielders. And there'll be a speed-up runner coming into the ball game here for South Summit. That's Mariah Bowen, number 6.
And Jones did a good job. That was another off-speed pitch by Shumway, and she just waited on it and found a hole.
So Mariah Bowen will be in to run. First pitch is on the outside corner. Strike 1 to Ellie Reedhead, the number 4 hitter.
Reedhead, also a big batter, hitting .456.
So 456, 3 and 4 hole hitters for South Summit with glossy averages here. Swing and a miss, strike one. Excuse me, let's make that 2 before the scorekeeper yells at me and hits me in the shoulder again. We'll call that 2 strikes. So my shoulder is just barely recovering from the other day when she was slugging me. Swing and a miss, strike 3 on the outside. Ellie Reedhead goes down swinging. So strikes are out. That'll end the inning with 1 runner on. So after the end of 1, it's 0-0 here in South Summit and Grand County. We'll be right back.
Beaver Valley Hospital continues to offer high-quality health care at the state's lowest price. Beaver Valley Hospital has state-of-the-art laboratory and radiology services, including cutting-edge X-ray and 3D ultrasound. The hospital also provides expanded surgical procedures for orthopedics and laparoscopic hysterectomy. Remodeled patient rooms and long-term care facilities combine with compassionate staff to provide our patients a comfortable and healing environment. Beaver Valley Hospital is a proud community supporter and is pleased to sponsor Beaver High School. At Central Valley Medical Center, we're committed to offering the best care.
In your life's first moments.
Through your life's biggest emergencies.
In your everyday health.
In those days that mean the most.
Central Valley Medical Center will be there with you through each step and stage of life, bringing the best care because we care, closer to home.
Spanish Fork. I tried to be quiet there. I've been quiet for 2 minutes waiting for him to say go ahead and go with it. So this time I didn't make the same mistake. So appreciate Lachelle helping me out here also, and Scott bringing us more information than we can regurgitate in 2 days. So we're back here at the top of the second inning with Trinity Bryant at the plate for Grand County. And takes the first pitch, and it's a swing and a miss up high for Bryant. She's the second baseman for Grand County. She'll be followed by the first baseman, Ollie Jones, and the third baseman, Hope Shumway. 7, 8, and 9 batters here for Grand County in this ball game. Jones brings the second pitch. It's a little bit low. We're waiting for the arm. No arm. Okay, that's a ball. Ball 1. and I do make fun of it, but the umpires have this technique of you can see them call it kind of, but the arm comes up really slow. And sometimes you think it's a different call.
Yep. Yes, I was wrong many times yesterday. So
you kind of have to watch their posture. If you see them tense, they've called it. That's a strike. And even when they swing, they take their time making the call.
They do.
So 1-2, the count. I check with the scorekeeper to make sure it's right. 1-2, the count here to Trinity Bryant with Allie Jones on deck. 0-0 the score, top of 2 here in this play-in ball game. Swing and a miss, strike 3 as Bryant goes down to a strikeout.
When you can throw that rise ball, it is so difficult to hit because it looks like it's coming in, and at the last second it starts to go up, and Jones has just had that perfected.
So it starts out as a pretty good pitch, but by the time you take your step
it's gone.
And swing, it's up around your eyeballs.
Yep.
A good point. Thank you for that one, yeah. We'll go back to we will not go to the top of the order until Allie Jones bats and Hope Shumway bats. Allie Jones at the plate now. Ball is low and inside. Ball 1. And the winner of this ball game will go on to play Manti in the championship game, but the winner of this game will have to beat Manti twice in order to win the championship, as it is a true double elimination here. But that's kind of a fun time, too. Ball is fouled back against the screen. Strike. 1-1 the count. We appreciate our sponsors here that help provide for this. Intermountain Power Service Corporation, Central Valley Medical Center in Nephi, Sunrise Engineering, Sam Pete Steel in Moroni, Beaver Valley Hospital, Nephi Federal Credit Union. And the next pitch, grounded foul down the left field line. That'll be a strike 2 to Allie Jones. Also, Beaver Medical Clinic, Jones of the Mill Engineering, and Town & Country Home Mortgage in Nephi. And again, especially to Centricom for all that they do to bring these games to the folks in the far reaches of the southern and central Utah and northern Utah also. Thank you, Centricom. That pitch is outside and high. Ball 2, 2-2.
So good Good pitch by Jones, just trying to get Jones. Is it Jones to Jones? Trying to get her to just chase that high outside ball.
So Indy Jones in the circle for South Summit, and Allie Jones at bat. Again, fouled down the third base line, picked up there by the third baseman Reedhead. Coach wasn't going to help her on that one. She had to go pick it up herself. Allie Jones with a 2-2 count here. Stands in the box, followed by Hope Shumway here. Fouled off an inside pitch up against the screen. Stays 2-2.
That's such a great pitch by Jones. Those are so hard as they jam up the batter on the inside. And Allie Jones, though good, is doing a great job fouling off those pitches.
Kind of hard to get your hands out on a pitch
is.
that far inside and get the head of the bat around. So Allie Jones 2-2 now. On the outside corner, ball 3. It'll be a full count now. So she battles to full count. See if she can get herself into a walk here somehow to get on base. 2-2 the count. 1 down in the inning. Allie Jones at the plate. Indy Jones in the circle. Swing and a miss. Nice pitch on the outside corner there by Indy Jones.
Yeah, Jones already that's her 5th strikeout in the game, so doing her job in the circle for the Wildcats.
Faced 8 batters, and she has 5 strikeouts.
Yeah, that's pretty
5
good.
strikeouts, 2 hits, and a walk.
Yeah.
So Hope Shumway comes to the plate now, the number 9 hitter at the third baseman, just a freshman for Grand County. Facing Indy Jones, who is on a roll. She struck out the last 5 batters that she has faced after starting out with a difficulty. She started out with a hit, a walk, and a hit to load the bases in the first inning, and she's had 5 strikeouts since that time. Hope Shumway, 1 ball count. Next pitch down the middle, a little breaking to the outside corner, strike 1. She has great movement on the pitches.
She does, and she has a plethora of pitches she can throw, which is great to have in your pocket.
Now, it's a good thing Scott's not on the line here. You'd have to explain plethora. But I know that word.
I know. Those big words confuse him. It's okay.
Pop up down the right field side. Second baseman ranging over, and she makes the catch on the foul territory. Nice range there by Brooklyn Peacock to go all the way almost to the fence to make that catch. And that will end the top of the second inning. And that'll remain the score 0-0 with South Summit coming to bat. We'll be right back.
JN Auto loves our customers and our community, so we have sanitized our entire inventory. Mold, germs, and yes, coronavirus are eradicated. Our all-natural treatment is safe for you, your pets, and anyone you take along in your new ride. After 6 months, stop by and we can get you rolling germ-free again. Treatments are offered in a single application or a 1, 3, or 5-year contract. Stop by your local JN Auto location to learn more about our sanitizing options.
I'm Dr. Sorensen. I'm a board-certified pediatrician, and I'm the newest addition to the team of doctors here at Central Valley Medical Center. My goal is to work closely with you when making decisions about your child's health. After all, you know them better than anyone else.
I think as a mom, it can be really overwhelming to find a doctor who's a really good fit for your family. I look for someone who I can trust. It's so validating and comforting knowing that I can call and get the answers I need from Dr. Sorensen and his staff.
I look forward to meeting you and your child and bringing you the best care closer to home.
Welcome back, Spanish Fork here as we get ready to the bottom of the second inning. Bunt goes straight in the air and unable to run it down as Lexi Carroll comes back towards the screen. So on the first pitch, Cameron Chandler tries to catch Ground Candy napping, but unable to do so as she squares the bunt, puts the ball straight in the air. Well, it wasn't straight because it came back behind the umpire, yeah. So we'll see if she tries that again. Grand County's probably not asleep now. Next pitch, going to be high and outside, but great movement, but a little bit too high.
You could see her moving her feet in the box, but she held off.
Starts to bring the shoulders, but held the bat back, so good bat control. 1-1 the count to Cameron Chandler. Right down the middle, ball's going to be hit just over the shortstop's head for a base hit, and Chandler hustles down to first base. And Portia Mitchell will get it back in, but that ball just over the head of the shortstop Wren and drops in for a base hit.
Yeah, it was a great hit by Chandler, and she is now on the hunt for that home plate.
So Alyssa Sargent comes up now. Alyssa Sargent batting in the number 6 position. She's also the catcher. She puts the bunt down, and it rolls foul. And with this better pitches, looks like the teams have changed their strategies a little bit. They're going to play some small ball, base-to-base kind of thing, sacrifice, move the runners over, because it might be a 1 or 2 runs to the difference in this ball game.
I think you are right, as both of these just outstanding pitchers.
1 strike on the batter now. Nobody out here. Runner at first. Swing and a miss on an outside pitch. Strike 2.
And I feel like softball's maybe kind of moved away from the small ball a little bit, as before in the past it was everybody bunted, everybody slapped.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's more, I don't know, the pitchers are faster, the bats are better, so.
Another pitch high, ball 1. But I think you see that throughout baseball, softball, even the bigs. Nobody bunts anymore.
No.
And you don't hit station to station.
No.
You go for the big hit.
Yep.
So that's brought on the switch because batters can only hit it one way.
Yep.
So you've got the big switches going on. So it's an evolving game. That one's going to be fouled straight back, and the scorekeeper here was worried. She was cowering underneath the table for fear it was going to.
Yeah, back in the day, I remember San Juan playing up in your pocket at third base.
Oh yeah.
Afraid of working on watching the bunt. But now, I've seen even third baseman playing behind the base.
Yeah, they really did. A third baseman and first baseman were almost right in your pocket.
They were, and it was intimidating as a batter.
But I was worried about a hard hit taking the teeth out of a third baseman, But they are playing a little bit deeper now. So as we gab here, it's gone 2-2 to Alyssa Sargent here with a runner at first and nobody out. A little bit high there. We'll go full now at the Alyssa Sargent. Emma Broadbent is on deck, and Brooklyn Peacock in the hole here in the bottom of the third inning, as Grand with a little bit of an issue now with the runner at first and a full count on the batter. Here comes the pitch from swing and a miss, a little bit high. Shumway puts it up a little bit. Swing and a miss to protect. Foul ball, remains full.
And I believe that would have been a ball if...
well, we think so from up here.
If Sargent would have let that go, but maybe not.
Next pitch coming in from Shumway.
Oh,
it drops in. What a pitch.
That was awesome.
Swing, a defensive swing at the last second by Sargent as she realized that ball was dropping into the zone. Strikeout, first out of the inning. Wow, what a pitch. Full count, and you throw that thing.
Yeah, that's some confidence in yourself.
Emma Broadbent now comes to the plate. Left hands, first pitch swinging, back into the screen, strike 1.
And Broadbent is just a freshman for the Wildcats.
Wow. These programs, these better programs in 3A, they've got a lot of girls in the system, in the stream coming up, and it's not uncommon for them as a young age to crack the starting lineups. Runner goes on the high pitch. The throw is offline, goes into center field, and the runner will come now to third. Throw on the way to third. That's over, and the pitcher backing it up saves possibly a run there as Shumway backs it up. But the throw by the catcher, Carroll, went between short and second, and I saw this yesterday. The throws, they're just not covering right, and several throws went between the girls yesterday. And in this case, it puts the runner at third base.
And, credit to Shumway. I think she, like you said, she saved that run, and she hustled over to back up third.
The ball went off the shortstop's hand, and that would have to be an E6, allowing her to get to third base. So a runner at third, one down. Ball gets off the hand of the catcher. There in time, gets at the plate. It's out. Nice play between Carroll and Shumway. We'll ask them later. They'll probably say, we planned that.
I know, right? Shumway had her glove planted right in front of the home plate, and Carol just made a perfect toss right to her.
Yeah, that was
the Intermountain
turned
Power
out
Service
to be a great play there as they got her out at home. And that's the thing with these backstops in these fields. There's not a lot of room, so you better get a good break off of first base. You better get third base. You better get a good break. Swing and a miss. Too much action going on. Strike 3 on the batter Broadbent. We had it at 1-1 here, but it was 2-2. Threw a nice pitch. Strike 3, and that'll end the inning as Grand County stays out of difficulty and makes a couple of great plays, and that'll be the end of 2. It's 0-0.
The Intermountain Power Service Corporation is committed to supporting our local schools, communities, and the economies of central and south central Utah. Each year, IPSC's 2 950-megawatt generating units provide 3 million megawatt hours of energy for communities in Utah and Southern California. The Intermountain Power Project ranks among the best of coal-based power plants in reliability, cost-effectiveness, and environmental responsibility. IPSC, honored to sponsor this sports broadcast.
Town & Country Home Mortgage has been simplifying the home buying process for 18 years. We offer VA, FHA, USDA, conventional, and construction loans. Come see us or apply online at NephiMortgage.com. That's NephiMortgage.com. We are committed to our community and enjoy serving our friends and family. Talk to one of our expert loan officers, Abby Ivory, Liz Brotherson, Chantel Bennett, or Joe Nielsen. Town & Country Home Mortgage, proud supporters of high school athletics.
Okay, welcome back here to Spanish Fork Complex. Beautiful day going on here today as we have the final day of the 3A state championship action here. We got a good one going on here, South Summit and Grand County. It's been mainly defensive. Both teams have had runners at third with chances to score, and great pitching and great defense has dug both teams out of difficult situations. So we go to the top of the third, back to the top of the order here for Grand County with Paige Shumway. She had a single first time up. Now she'll take that pitch high a ball, but she was able to get all the way to third with nobody out and was not able to score in that first inning. Her first single was kind of a shot to the right side of second base, and second base made a tremendous diving stop but could not get her out at first. This time it's popped up down the right field line. Is going to be deep enough, and it is. The right fielder will take that. Cameron Chandler will make the play on that. So fly out to the right fielder.
And, Shumway just a little bit under it, and the right fielder able to run over and make that catch.
And since the first 3 batters reached in the first inning, Indy Jones has been spectacular, striking out 5 batters since then. And really nobody's even been close to getting on base since those first 3 batters. So she's really settled down. Pitch outside, ball 1.
Not a lot of walks by Jones or Shumway, as they want these batters to hit, because they when you're confident in your defense, it's easy to pitch strikes.
Yeah, it really is, and they're good pitchers, and they're not just grooving the ball either with confidence in their fielders, but they're nibbling at the corners. They're doing some good stuff with the ball, a lot of movement on the ball, but the fielders behind very competent. Good softball. Loser of this would be considered the third place team in the state 3A this year. Another one fouled off to the right hand side. So that would be, I believe, 1 and 2 at this point. I only know if I made the wrong because the scorekeeper slugs me in the shoulder. So I know when I've done wrong here. So Packard standing in as the batter. Carroll will be on deck. Lines one into right field. Right fielder ranging over and makes the catch. Nice play again by Cameron Chandler out there in right field.
So right field getting a lot of action today for the Wildcats.
That looked like it was taken away from her, too, right down the line, but she gets over, makes a great play. So that'll be 2 out in the inning. Packard did take the walk by a hit by pitch last time up. Now Lexi Carroll comes up. She got a single straight up the middle to center field. And first time up, and got to first base and drove Paige Shumway to third. Now she comes up with nobody on and 2 down here in the third inning. Whoa, hit by pitch. She gets her right in the hip or knee area, the thigh. And so you jinxed her by saying nobody had walked since.
No, that's going to leave a mark. That will definitely leave a mark.
Maybe she's mad because she got a hit last time on her.
She might be.
That'll bring up Lainey Bohannon. Lainey Bohannon last time just missed on the pitch she wanted with bases loaded. Ended up striking out, but what a confrontation between Bohannon and Indy Jones there that last time up.
Yeah, that was a big pitch for Jones as she just calmly just sat her down.
Yep, after just missing over the middle of the plate. Yeah. So Jones brings it. Going to be on the outside corner. Fake the throw to first. Nothing there. Ball 1. I don't know how many home runs for sure Bohannon has in this tournament, but she's
at
hit
least
several.
Three. At least three.
Yeah, at least 3 that we've seen.
At least 3 that we know of.
1 ball on the play, even though the scorekeeper doesn't have it on the scoreboard yet. Oh, they're doing brownies. I'm sorry. She gets a hold of that one, hits it sharply into right field, picked up there by the right fielder. Cameron Chandler quickly gets it back in field so that Carroll not able to extend around to third base. So nice play by the right fielder. Nice crisp hit the opposite way by Bohannon. Third hit of the ball game for Grand County. Puts runners at first and second now with 2 down, and Wren coming to the plate. That was a rip on that one.
That was. She got a hold of that, and a good play by that right fielder because that could have scored a run.
Had it gone past her to the screen, yeah, if that had got away from her, that would have been at least 1 run. The next pitch to Wren, strike low down the middle. Nice pitch by by Indy Jones. That's another switch too. This look into the dugout, get some kind of call, check your wrist brace. Swing and a miss, strike 2. My question is the catcher looking in there too so she knows what pitch is coming?
Yeah, so she looks to the dugout and the coach gives a sign, and then I think all of the players have a wristband on so they know kind of what the pitch is and maybe where, the...
Yep, that's all different.
Yeah.
I'm an old timer.
The sign from the coach.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. 3 sweet pitches there from Indy Jones to strike her out. Another strikeout. That's the 6th strikeout of the game thus far for Jones, and that will retire the side, and no damage done. So they leave a couple runners on with 1 base hit, but nothing else beyond that. So at the bottom of the 3rd, we'll be back in just a minute.
Maybe he landed here totally by coincidence. But if by chance he's admiring your fresh coat of Benjamin Moore soft sky blue, well, that's a pretty high compliment. Coming from an expert.
Jones & DeMille Engineering is more than a civil engineering firm. They're shaping new opportunities for work and play, shaping the landscape in the rural Intermountain West, and shaping the communities that they're proud to be a part of. Their offices in Richfield, Manti, Price, St. George, Monticello, Springville, Roosevelt, and Tooele provide civil and structural engineering, construction management, surveys and GIS mapping, and material testing. Jones & DeMille Engineering, shaping the quality of life.
I know.
Welcome back to Spanish Fork Complex here. Day 3 of the tournament still going on here. We're down to 3 teams in the 3A, 3 teams in the 2A. Currently, Duchesne Eagles with a slight lead over the Millard Eagles, 3-0 in the 4th inning over there. And on this field here, we have the South Summit and Grand County 0-0 going into the bottom of the 3rd inning.
You know what's interesting, too, about Shumway? She only pitches 1 warm-up pitch.
Really?
Yes. So and on that one, she just kind of screwed up even halfway to home plate and just kind of lobbed it in there, and away they go. So she, I guess, has thrown enough pitches that she doesn't need to warm up.
She puts enough effort into every pitch. She doesn't have that much left, maybe, but she is a tremendous pitcher. Pop up deep down the line. Looks like it may get over the fence, and it does. Oh, error on the fan.
Yep, he missed.
He came out, he had it in both hands, and dropped it. Get his name, we'll put him in the books. E12. So this is Brooklyn Pierce at the line here. Here we go, the line again. There is a line, folks, but it's a batter's box at the plate. Turns to bunt, pulls it back. Called strike, I think. Oh, no.
Ooh.
Looked like he's going to. But there you talk about it. She squares to bunt. That third baseman's 5 feet away.
She was. She was so close.
You worry about her pull it back and slapping that. Somebody's losing the tooth. So it's a 1-1. That close, it would take the mask off. 1-1 the count. She kind of falls sideways there. It comes out a little bit awkward. Ball 2. 2-1 the count now for Brooklyn Pierce.
And everybody for Grand County, all the infield does have a mask on.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's changed too. Used to be the sign of weakness to wear a mask. Ball hit sharply to the right side, goes right past underneath the outstretched arm of the second baseman into center field, right center field, and that's a hit for Brooklyn Pierce. And Brooklyn Pierce was trying to get there, dives for it, but it goes right underneath the glove. No contact. So we got to go with a hit there for me, unless the scorekeeper slugs me.
I would go with a hit. That was a hard hit. And
okay,
just,
we're voting 2-1. So that puts a runner at first, nobody out. Emma Olson comes to the plate now. After her, we'll go back to the top of the order for Malia Brown. Turns to bunt, puts it down nicely, right down the first place line. Play by the catcher. Nobody covering third. Left fielder comes in. The throw is wrong. Goes over her mitt and in to score. Then a bad throw across the diamond. This will send the runner from second to third. So several throwing errors here. My goodness, I hope we can score that one. So we had the bunt by Emma Olson, and there was a throw at first, but she beat it out as the catcher tried to make the throw. Olson was there first. Then you've got the first baseman throwing the ball across the diamond to third. There's the bunt, puts it down nicely, right down the first place line. Left fielder is rushing in to cover the base, so left fielder tries to cover the base. The ball goes over her hand, so that's a throwing error, allowing the runner to come to third. Then the throw comes back to pitcher, misses her and goes to the dugout. Throwing error allows the base runner to go to third.
Yes,
Did you get all that?
I got it on.
I want you to repeat that now.
I didn't, but I was going to say, Olson, we had stats yesterday, is that she had 17 stolen bases on the season. So she's super quick, and I think I saw her lay down a bunt at least 3 times. So, you know, when she's up to bat, there's going to be a bunt, and they did such a good job playing that small ball, and Grand just, unfortunately, the error is just so costly.
Yeah, a couple of errors, a couple of throwing errors because you've got the error on the throwback. And really the first baseman threw it, and no one was at third base. The left fielder was hustling in to get there, but it was just too big and over the glove of her. So that would be an error on the throw by the first baseman. First baseman throwing error, but then she made a bad throw back to cross the diamond, which allowed the runner to come from second to third. So she comes on the bad throw from the left fielder. Yes. And when we talk like this, I'm actually talking with the scorekeeper here. And yes, there's the question that the first throwing error is what allowed the run to score.
Yes.
So and the dust has cleared. The coaches are giving us time by talking back and forth. I'm not sure what about. So we have a runner at third. We have 1 run in and nobody out here in the bottom of the third. Pitch is a little bit high, ball 1. We're back to top of the order now with Malia Bowen back to the top of the order. Bowen in.
Ooh.
And there again, you're right in the change here because always before we had a left-handed batter especially in the first part of the order. It was slap.
Yep.
It was the slap technique. But these batters are taking full swings. They slap occasionally, but not always. That's going to be on that outside corner with movement, strike one, so 2-1 here. I would have expected this gal to be slapping all over the place. But
yeah,
she'll stand
especially
in there and take swings.
when they're quick. That's just trying to get on base.
So there she stands in again. Fouls it back over the screen, so strike two. In fact, I had even seen teams that have taken normal right-hand hitters.
Yes, and made them
flip them over to the left just for the slap.
Yep.
So they'll slap on first strike, second strike, then they'll go back to the other side to try and hit it normal.
Yep.
So 2-2 the count here now to the batter Bowen with a runner at third in Olson. Foul ball, a little bit farther down the line, but it will be out of play. And it'll remain 2-2 to Bowen. We talk about runs being crucial and critical. One run there will be big. One comes a little bit high, ball three. We've gone full count now to Bowen.
And now Shumway, she's got to come back and show her she does not want to walk her and get two runners on with no one out.
Yep. With the quickness, then you've got the first, third steal. Slaps it down third baseline, not because it was a slap technique, just because the pitch fooled her. And at the last minute, she fights it off down that third baseline foul so that she can come back and have another pitch to work on. It'll be popped up down the left field. It's going to come out of play, however, down the right field line, out of play.
It's always comical to watch the fans as the foul balls come over the backstop.
Did we have another error?
Yeah, I think it hit someone. Yesterday we saw husband and wife. The husband moved out of the way and the wife got hit in the head. So
that went over here. That's valiant of him.
Yeah.
Here, dear, take that. Full count.
Oh,
down the middle. Called a ball.
Oh, that looked
and
really
Shumway's upset about that. She went right to her knees. She thought she had the K there, but they'll give her the walk. And that's runner what we talked about. Now you got first and third with the quickness you got at first. At some point they're sending her.
Yes.
And then the dilemma for Grand County is: do you go for the put out, the short run, try to switch her up by throwing it to shortstop like everybody tries?
Mm-hmm.
So we've got Snyder at the plate. Turns to bunt. Runner goes. Ball is missed by the catcher. And I don't think you have a chance with her anyway. So we've got a steal by Malia Brown. I think she would have been there anyway. It was a ball low and in the dirt. So now runners at second, third. Nobody out here. And Snyder at the plate. Now she grounded out to shortstop last time up. And you have Indy Jones on deck. Over the outside corner, but low ball. So 2-0. What are you going to do here, Coach?
I mean, I think they got to go at her and hope for a strikeout or a ground out. But you do not want to have bases loaded with Indy Jones.
Ball goes through the catcher's legs, gets it up in time, but cannot make the play at home. Too quick coming in. And Emma Olson will make it home on a passed ball. As that ball was low, went right between the legs of Lexi Carroll. She tried to squat down and block it, but it went right through the wickets there to the screen. And by the time she got up and made the play at home, just not in time. The ball was fumbled at home, but she would not have had her anyway as she was in safe. That also allows Malia Brown to move, to move to third base on the play. Bunt form, and we're going to take a walk here as right now that missed third strike call has really affected Shumway right now.
It is. You can tell her pitches are telling it all. She's, feeling a little defeated, but
she throws 4 straight balls there, and she hasn't done that to anybody in days.
No, and Jones she's just a monster of a hitter, so you do not want to give her a pipe ski pitch or it'll be gone.
So you got first and third again with nobody out, and Indy Jones at the plate. Whoa, a mighty swing there. Strike one. She was looking for the three-runner.
She was. She was.
These better batters in this situation, they could look for the dingers. So 0-1 the count here to Indy Jones. She's followed by Ellie Reedhead in the order. But nobody out here, first and third. Ooh. Outside the runner goes. Yeah, the ball was fumbled at home. Don't know if they're going to go for it anyway. But once again, second and third, and it just continues to compound itself. So 1-1 the count.
Those errors are just proving costly as still no outs for the Red Devils.
We talked about runs being at a premium, so you give a couple on errors. That's a killer in a game like this. Ball's hit sharply to third, checks the runner, checks back, goes to first, makes the play. That was a nice play by the third baseman, Hope Shumway, as a freshman. She checks the runner, she fakes the throw, looks back at the runner to seal her, throws it to first. Now the runner has no chance from third. That's a great play.
It was. That was just textbook. That's what you work on at practice, and she did it perfectly.
And that's a freshman doing that.
Yeah,
we talked about the pipelines.
So these Shumway girls, they know how to play softball, and yep. I'm pretty sure their dad is the coach. So I think they've learned a few things.
They talked probably about it at home a little bit.
Yeah, I agree.
Pitch in the dirt, blocked nicely by Lexi Carroll there. Ball one is the call. Turn with a bunt was on, but Reed had let it go, and nicely blocked. Okay, they're looking to see. There was a question. Maybe she had gone for the ball with the bat. I didn't see it. The officials agree with me for a change. And the scorekeeper hasn't hit me, so we're good. So that was a ball. One down in the inning now. Shumway creeps up the line. The bunt is put down. It's going to be a dead ball, and it'll be strike.
Oh.
Well, so that is true. That it's changed a little bit. You have to make an effort at the ball, or if you don't, or if you pull it back, it can be called a ball. So we have a 1-1 count now. We'll see if she turns again for the bunt. Number 4 hitter in the lineup trying to get another run across with one down. Holds it back, swings through it, strike. Did not go with the bunt. So strike 2, 1-2 the count. She struck out last time up on 3 straight pitches. So, the party begins now. Pitch coming on the way. Swing and a miss. Got her on the high curve outside. Nice pitch.
That was a great pitch by Shumway as she's looking to get herself out of this pickle before any more damage is done.
Emotionally, she's back into it.
She
struggled there for a minute, but emotionally right now, she's back into it. That is her 5th strikeout of the ball game thus far. That brings Chandler to the plate. She dribbles one down first. First baseman ranges over, picks it up. Allie Jones will step on the plate, and that'll be it at the end of 3 now. 2 innings coming to 2 runs to South Summit in the bottom of the 3rd. So after 3 complete, 2-0 favor of South Summit. We'll be right back.
Nephi Federal Credit Union in Nephi offers convenient service and a variety of financial services. They're your hometown credit union that's been serving local residents for over 63 years, longer than any other financial institution in Nephi. The staff invites you to check out their incredible rates on a variety of loans and savings accounts. Nephi Federal Credit Union, 155 North Main in Nephi. Call 623-1895. That's 623-1895. Nephi Federal Credit Union, proud supporter of the Wasps this season.
San Pete Steel in Moroni was founded in 1994 and is one of the major steel construction companies in the Intermountain West, specializing in structural steel fabrication and erection. San Pete Steel's impressive portfolio includes the Hale Theater in Sandy and structures on the campuses of the University of Utah, BYU, and UVU. San Pete Steel in Moroni, where their motto is done right and on time, at 685 East Main in Moroni. Call 800-261-1026, 800-261-1026, or sanpetesteel.com.
They're turning it on so they're catching all the off-air stuff that's not supposed to be on air. Welcome back to Spanish Fork here. And Grand County will be coming to the bat here with Portia Mitchell will lead off the top of the fourth inning here. She'll take a pitch low in the dirt, ball one. And again, if you're just joining us, South Summit was able to throw 2 runs across in the last inning. They got a couple of hits, but a lot of it was on the air, throwing errors in the situation, and allowed 2 runs to score. So they're up 2-0. Ball is hit just over the first baseman's head. Too much for second base. And a little bloop single, we used to call that. And that'll be Portia Mitchell will reach first base on a bloop single. And she will be there with nobody out. And Trinity Bryant coming to the line, batter's box.
And, great little poke by Mitchell is she struck out her last at bat. And that was one of those with the bases loaded. And so she's able to find herself on base.
Yeah, you look back and think if you could have done that with the bases,
Yep.
That's at least 1 run.
Yep.
But there she stands at first now doing what she can. Trinity Bryant has come to the plate now, and she struck out last time at bat. She turns and squares the bunt, bunts it up, and it comes back against the screen. And
you can see her coach saying, hey, when it's high like that, pull back. That's a ball.
Yeah. And again, back in the day when we were, of course, that was 9,000 years ago, but the bunting was the first thing you worked on every day and learned was make sure everybody could put the ball down and put it where you wanted it, not just put it down.
Oh.
Ball hits her. She steps into that one, so, no, he's going to bring her back. He's going to say it did not hit her. It's a strike.
Oh.
Okay, we're going to have a talk here. The fans have voted no on this one side. Now the umpire looking for help from first base.
Yeah, she's saying it hit her.
She's saying he pulled it away and it hit her. So the other umpire is saying that's enough, settle down. Now the other coach is going to have a thing or two to say. Okay, we need the good music here so things will happen. Anyway, if it doesn't change, we've got a hit by pitch on Trinity Bryant. And she will go to first base, and that pushes Portia Mitchell now over to second base. And we have quite a conference going on out there right now. So now the other side of the fans, they're voting no.
Oh, we're getting some rowdy fans.
Trinity Bryant hit by the pitch, goes to first, moves Mitchell to second.
And it looks like it'll stay that way. We have runners at first and second, and Mitchell and Bryant with Allie Jones coming to the plate. And she struck out last time up. After going to a full count, she eventually struck out. And Hope Shumway will be on deck. Then we go back to the top of the order for Paige Shumway. I'm sure she'd love to get up here with a runner or two on base.
She would.
So signs are being taken. Jones at the plate. She turns to bunt. Nothing there, so she will pull the bat back. Ball one. Looks like the pitcher's a little upset, too. Indy Jones looks mad.
She is, and I think the argument was the South Summit coach was wondering, well, if she squared the bunt and didn't pull back and it hit her, that would be a strike, but it
looked like to me, though, she kind of pulled the ball back a little bit, so she pulled it back and tried to dodge it, I thought. So turns the bunt again, pops it in the air. You know, in this situation, you got to put that ball between first and pitcher because the third's coming so hard. You got that rotation, shortstop going over, but there's nowhere to put the ball there. But there was the gap over by the first baseman. So we'll see what she does here. Strike one. It's easy to call it from up here. I've never made a bad call up here.
Oh, there
does
she goes.
Put the ball
That's
down.
A pretty bunt.
Had time at third, goes to first instead. But that's the way you do it. Deaden that ball in front of the plate and make them make a play.
Yeah, that was a great bunt by Allie Jones as she put it right in front of the plate and made the South Summit Wildcats make the play and advance the runners.
Does move the runners to second and third, so she's done her job now. She's got Bryant and Mitchell in scoring position. Hope Shumway at the plate, only one away here as they try to chip back into the 2 runs that they gave up in the bottom of the third now. Now, will she put on the squeeze here and try to bunt one in? Not a fast runner necessarily at third base. We'll see what they do here. Hope Shumway, just a freshman, playing third base. Pops it into right field. This will get a run in. The catch is made. The run's coming home. Here comes the throw, but not in time. And Hope Shumway does her job as she flies out to right field.
And I don't think you would want anybody else up to bat with a runner on than Paige Shumway if you were Grand County.
So she gets a run batted in there, an RBI, and it will bring Portia Mitchell to the plate. Perfectly played by Portia Mitchell. And Bryant will go to third. 2 down. And up comes Shumway. As you stated, Paige Shumway at the plate. Nice place for her. Big time, big player.
Mm-hmm.
She's got a single, and she flew out to right. So in her 2 at-bats, she'd love to get that extra run in. Hits the ball high in the air. Shortstop settles under it, and she'll make the catch. So they get out of the jam there, but they give up 1. So after 3.5, it's 2-1 here in Spanish Fork. We'll be right back.
Castle Valley Orthodontics specializes in state-of-the-art digital radiographs and 3D dental models. It also offers interest-free payment plans starting as low as $99 a month. Castle Valley Orthodontics will be there with you from beginning to end.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dan Cowley with Castle Valley Orthodontics. Born and raised here in Carbon-Emery County, been able to move back home. Looking forward to meeting everybody of Carbon-Emery County coming in to see us.
Vince Lombardi once said, "The measure of who we are is what we do with what we have." The quote rings true whether applied to our country, our schools, our homes, or on the field of play. We applaud our student athletes for their hard work and determination on the field and in the classroom. Brought to you by Sunrise Engineering, promoting excellence in sports and education. Visit us at sunrise-eng.com. That's sunrise-eng.com.
Welcome back to Spanish Fork. That time I came back on a couple of times, but he says, no, not yet. Didn't want to be caught off air again. We'll go to the bottom half of the fourth here now as South Summit comes up to bat, leading 2-1. First pitch is swung on, fouled right back to the screen. Alyssa Sargent is up to bat here. Alyssa Sargent struck out in the second inning to start the second inning. Second batter of the second inning. She struck out. And so she gets her second at-bat here. She's playing catcher, doing an excellent job there.
Ooh.
And next pitch is a ball, called ball. 1-1 the count. You went, ooh, was that an...
It looks like it was close. I mean, that was a beat ball for me. I definitely would have swung, so.
And probably would have been a home run.
I would hope.
Swing on and a foul over the fence here down the left field line. That'll be strike 2 against Alyssa Sargent.
And I do believe Sargent hit her first home run in the tournament.
Yeah, she did. Yeah. Emma Broadbent will be up next, and Brooklyn Peacock after her. So we do start this bottom of the fourth. Pitch is outside. Ball. 2-2 the count. Here we go, 2-2 the count. Nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. That gets away a little, calls an illegal pitch. It was high anyway. Mm-hmm. Umpire called an illegal pitch, so it'll be a full count now, I believe. Don't know what the infraction was. Maybe came a little wide. She is stepping outside the box. Ball hitting the skin deep in the hole. Wren puts a mid on it, but is unable to come up with the throw. Dropped it. Don't know if she'd have made it anyway, but she dropped the ball. So it sounds like the scorekeeper is going to give her a hit. So base hit for Alyssa Sargent, and that'll bring up Emma Broadbent with Brooklyn Pierce on deck. And Broadbent comes up left-handed. Whoops. Pitch is going to go way high there by Shumway. That one got away from her. Ball 1.
Good stop by Carroll, and the catcher position is that would have been an easy stolen base for Sargent.
She had to jump her full length to get that ball. That's a pretty pitch. Again, calls illegal pitch. Is she stepping outside the zone of the box?
I think she may be.
That's what she's calling. I think stepping outside the zone. And these pitchers have to stay within a certain zone. They can't step wide in this softball, fast pitch softball. And
coming off the mound.
Either that or is she coming off.
Or not dragging her foot, or.
Now, the home plate ump called it. The first base ump was over trying to explain what the problem is. So I'm not sure which it is, whether it's stepping outside the zone. It looks like, though, they may be talking about maybe a double plant. Now the coach is going over and saying, look, and you're blind, umpire. This is where she's stepping. This is hard on the pitcher, though. You've pitched this way all your life, and all of a sudden now you've got this little bit of discrepancy here. The coach is quite upset. And so again,
Sure. We're going to throw
so
up the
we got replays on the TV. We've got an official up here in the box trying to explain. We think what's being called out there. He thinks it's an illegal double plant. So when you push off the plate, you are not allowed to replant and push again. Now, she's complaining that she's dragging her foot. It is not a replant, but I see no different than the way she's pitched the whole tournament. She just comes forward so hard with her body language that she is just all into it. I don't know that she's replanting.
Outside the...
Okay, so now we're getting an explanation after watching the replay. The home plate umpire calls it when it's outside the limit of the pitching rubber. So you have to land with your front foot within the parameters as if two lines were painted straight forward. And in college game, you see that sometimes. Yes. That line is painted there.
Yep, you do.
So in high school... Well, after it's all said and done, the next pitch is a pop foul. I'm not sure where the count is now. 2-1?
Yep, 2-1 the count. No outs, runner on first.
There we go. Thank you. And you just got to hope that Paige Shumway can keep it all together because she's a tremendous young pitcher. To change up on the outside corner, 3-1 now. 3-1. Broadbent at the plate, batting. Peacock in on deck. And Olsen in the hole.
Ooh.
Throws a nice floater in there on a changeup. That'll be in for a strike and goes full on the count. Hit sharply into right field. And runner going to hold up nicely in by Packard, gets it in quickly. Boy, that was a shot right past the first baseman. Didn't even have a chance to move on that. So that'll put runners at first and second now. And a single by Broadbent moves Sargent to second base. And now we have Brooklyn Peacock coming to the plate. She got a single last time and eventually scored. Unless we're having some kind of a change. Have we got a runner coming in?
Runner coming in, yep. T. Rose.
Taya Rose coming
for running for?
Taya Rose running for Emma Broadbent.
Okay.
Number 21, a freshman.
So Tia Rose? T-Rose.
Taya Rose, yep.
So Taya Rose will be running for Broadbent. So once again in a jam here we go. And runners at first and second, nobody out. And Brooklyn Peacock comes up, and she got a single first time up. Shaking her arm around a little bit is Shumway. She kind of had a sleeve on it yesterday.
Yeah,
she finally got annoyed and ripped it off. And she's thrown a lot. Swing and a miss by Peacock, strike one.
Great pitch by Shumway. She got Peacock to chase.
Emma Olson will be on deck and back to the top of the order with Malaya Bowen in the hole. Swing and a miss again. Two nice pitches.
So Shumway really coming at this next batter of the Wildcats, as she'd like to sit her down and not load up those bases.
A little bit high. Looked at it. Started the shoulders work and didn't bring them. It'll be a ball, 2-2 the count now. I got 1-2 apparently. I've got an extra pitch in there. Swing and a miss, strike three.
Great pitch by Shumway.
Great time for a strikeout. That'll bring Emma Olson to the line, the batter's box. Emma Olson has been up once. She got a single in this third inning and eventually came around to score on some errors and things, but she stands in there from the left side with a runner at second and first with only one down. Turns to bunt, pops it up back into the screen. Strike one.
And she laid down that pretty bunt last time that caused all the errors and able to score.
That's right. It was the bunt, not necessarily a hit. It was the perfect bunt. You're right. Yeah, it started the mess that took place out there. Turns to bunt this time off the end of the bat. And I am just a little surprised at the lack of proficiency on bunting on most of the teams that I've watched here today and yesterday. Yeah, just not the quality of bunting that you might have expected here with these quality teams. So, 2 strikes on the batter now. Starts to go at the high pitch, lets her go. Ball 1-2 the count to Emma Olson here. Emma Olson, the left fielder. On deck will be Malia Bowen. Hits the ball over the first baseman's head. It's going to drop in. They got to play it second if they'll throw it. Not in time. And the ball gets loose from the shortstop, and here comes the runner home. Throw goes to third. Oh, a nice pick up there. And nobody covering second, and so Olson will make it to second. Olson has made a mess of things both times she's been up, hasn't she?
She has. Errors, bloopers, bunts.
So she gets the hit, and then as the runners go to second, third, they had a play at second, but they didn't get there in time. The ball gets loose from the shortstop, and that allows. So the error would be on the shortstop in handling the ball.
Yes.
Well,
Yes, the run scored on the error.
Scoring's a nightmare. Pop up, it goes into center field. They're going to tag the runner at third. Catch is made. Throws coming home. No one to cut it off. That allows the runner to go from second to third. Nobody there to cut the ball off.
Nope, they came back to back up the catcher, but nobody there to.
With shortstop and third, shortstop went to second. There's no play at second.
Yep.
You got to either be a cutoff or rotate to third and let the third baseman come over and cut. Or first has to come off and cut.
So just errors.
Wow.
Just killing the Red Devils as.
The catch was made on Bowen in left field, and then the throw came home, but it was late, and no one cut it off.
So no error, but just a. Yep.
Yeah,
yes.
I think so.
Ball 1.
We're still worrying about the errors. So as well as we talked about, Grand playing in the ball games we've watched, they've been so good defensively. And right now, the last couple of innings, they are really struggling. And it really is kind of mental. I mean, They're just not making plays, and they're in bad positions to make those plays. Now a shot is hit into left center field. It'll be down for a single, and that'll score another run as Emma Olson will come in to score now. Yeah. Scorekeeper mentions that's the first actual RBI in this inning. Everything else has been on errors and difficult problems. But she does get an RBI here, does Avery Snyder, and it'll bring Indy Jones to the batter's box. And a 5-1 lead now. One runner on, 2 out here in the top of the 4th. Swinging for the fences, strike one.
That was a great swing by Jones, just did not make contact.
Yeah, it was the right time to throw the changeup, wasn't it?
Yep.
Because she was swinging for the fences. Indy Jones stands in again. Waits on that pitch just past the glove of the third baseman, Shumway. Lays out for it, but not able to come up with it. And Indy Jones will have another hit, and that moves Snyder to second base. Now Reedhead comes to the plate. Reedhead has struck out twice. This is her third attempt to bat with 2 strikeouts. They do have the speed-up runner coming in. Mariah Bowen comes in to run for Indy Jones. Two out here now. Pitch a little bit high. Quickly back to the pitcher. Ball 1.
Jones already with 50 RBIs on the season, so make that 51.
Swing and a miss down low. The other game with Millard and Duchesne is 5-0 in the 6th inning. So Duchesne in control of that one. Pops it up. Look out for the windows. Oh, the camera girl had her glove out, ready for the catch. Souvenir ball. One and two to Reedhead. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, and they finally end another disastrous inning here with a strikeout to end the top half of the 4th, but not before 3 runs are across. That makes the score 5-1 as we go to the bottom of the 4th, and Grand County got to get her going here, and we'll be back in just a minute.
Town & Country Home Mortgage has been simplifying the home buying process for 18 years. We offer VA, FHA, USDA, conventional, and construction loans. Come see us or apply online at NephiMortgage.com. That's NephiMortgage.com. We are committed to our community and enjoy serving our friends and family. Talk to one of our expert loan officers, Abby Ivory, Liz Brotherson, Chantel Bennett, or Joe Nielsen. Town & Country Home Mortgage, proud supporters of high school athletics.
The Beaver Medical Clinic has built a reputation of providing compassionate health care for residents of Beaver and Iron counties. You'll appreciate the professional services of Doctors B. Noel Robinson, Roger Smith, Wade Oakton, Lance Smith, physician's assistants Reagan Fales, Travis Hicks, and Kenneth Hussey, and nurse practitioners Robin Horton, Lindsay Cheney, Rebecca Rasmussen, and Wade Hollingshead. The Beaver Medical Clinic offers affordable health care and convenient payment options, with offices in Beaver, Milford, and Parowan.
At Auto Farm Price Ford, we make it happen for you.
Auto Farm.
That's why you put the ball in play. You never know what will happen.
Welcome back to 3A State softball.
You picking me up, are you?
Yeah.
I'm having a conversation over here with the scorer.
I know, we got you.
We need Cooter here. Cooter makes sure you just slaps you or something.
Yeah.
So here we are back, Spanish Fork. We're just talking about the need for Grand County to make something here happen, and the fact that putting the ball in play has made a big difference for South Summit, because all sorts of craziness can happen if the ball is in play. You can't score if you strike out. We have at the plate now Hallie Packard, and she's reached on a hit by pitch, and she flew out to right field. So 2 attempts and 1 on 1 time, so she's 0 for 1 with a walk. As she comes up here, takes the first 2 pitches called balls. And they need base runners. And they need timely hits.
Ooh.
Down the line, hard down the line, but it'll go foul into right field.
And that's the difference, I think, between South Summit and Grand is South Summit has made Grand have to make plays, and Grand has not made South Summit have to make any plays.
Because they've had runners, right? The bases loaded in the first inning and could not get a bunt down, couldn't get a hit, couldn't make a play.
Yep.
And so in another inning, they've had runners on, but just unable to make something big happen. Ball goes to the shortstop. And ball in the dirt, thrown in the dirt, uncharacteristically of Avery Snyder there as she goes across to Emma Broadbent, but throws it on a short hop, and Broadbent not able to come up with it.
So like we said, when you make teams have to make a play, sometimes errors happen, and that's when you find yourself on base.
Yep. I used to play a lot of first base, and I always figured the first baseman has to make everybody else look good.
Yep,
so you got to come up with that ball right
Yep.
there. And now a shot into center field, over the center fielder's head, hits the fence, comes down. Runner had to hold it first till she saw whether or not the ball was caught. So unable to score, but Packard goes all the way to third base on the hit.
And just like that, Grand finally has some base runners, and we'll see what Lainey Bohannon can do for them at the plate.
You know, you got to figure that she probably would have scored there if the runner at first, but she had to wait because it looked like the center fielder was going to catch the ball.
It did. That ball at the last second flew over the center fielder's head, and or I think you're right because it did hit the fence. So.
Yeah, but the center fielder presented as though she were going to catch it, and then at the last minute she turned to run after it, and the runner had to wait. Had she known, she could have been all the way to second before the ball hit the ground. So.
Yep.
As it is, we have runners at first and third, nobody out. Something cooking here in the 5th inning. South Summit calls a timeout to discuss it. Lainey Bohannon comes to the plate, and she could make a huge difference in one swing if she could, as she has runners at first and third and nobody out. But right now, I don't think you think home run. I think you think hit the ball hard.
Hit the ball, put it in play, and
hit it hard somewhere. She turns to bunt, fakes that, lets it go. Runner's coming home, pass ball, and is safe at the plate. On the play, the runner goes to third. So on the passed ball, Packard comes home, and it was a late break. I thought maybe it was a mistake, but she gets here. And on the play at the plate, the runner is able to go from second to third because the steal was on.
Yep.
And the ball was called on the fake bunt, and all goodness breaks loose after that.
It did, and, Packard got a little bit of slow start, but hustled in there and able to score.
So that'll be a runner at third, one run across. And a ball hit. Whoa, she swung for the fences, but she got the wrong fence as it comes over here by the dugout.
Yep, wrong way.
Probably enough distance if you count the up and down of it.
Yep.
But not quite far enough to the outfield. Strike one.
And Jones, she pitches fast enough. If somebody gets a hold of that ball, it's going to be gone.
Look out, spectators.
Yep.
1-1 the count now to Bohannon. Ball is outside. They're going to give the call. Strike two, Lainey Bohannon. Now with a 1-2 count. Now Indy Jones, you got to figure she is in the catbird seat now. She can play all sorts of games with those corners now with Bohannon. Serves it right down the middle, and Bohannon's going to get one over the shortstop, and that'll score another run. So Grand County coming back from adversity as they're striking right back into this. They're not going to quit. Bohannon with a single, and she did what we talked about. She just hit the ball hard.
She did, and, we've seen her be a super power hitter, and that one was just put the ball in play and got herself an RBI.
So that puts Bohannon at first base now, nobody out, and Wren comes to the bat. And 2 runs across already, nobody out here in the top of the 5th. Turns the bunt, puts it down. Third baseman lets it go foul.
Perfectly placed bunt just went foul, and That's what you want, is right down that third baseline.
I guess they don't have such a thing as the last second. We used to try and bunt two ways. One was the bunt where you obviously were squared around, and the other one was to wait to the last second, drop the bat, and try and dump it for the hit. But they're showing early. She puts it down. This time it's going to go back to the screen, and that's another strike, as once again unable to put down the effective bunt and move the runner over. So now you got 2 strikes on you and have not moved the runner. So you choke up and you protect.
Yep. And I would not be surprised if we saw some junk thrown by Jones trying to get her to chase and swing.
Portia Mitchell is on deck.
Oh,
swing and a miss, strike 3 on the batter Wren. 6th strikeout of the ball game. First out of the inning. And that will bring Portia Mitchell to the plate with Trinity Bryant on deck. Mitchell has struck out and last time up got a single to right field. See what she can do her in her 3rd attempt here in the 5th inning.
Finds that inside corner for a called strike 1.
Strike 1 on the batter. And I did have 7. If I read it 6, that was a 7th strikeout. Mitchell at the plate. Bohannon at first. Ball's hit towards second. Up with it. Goes to second for 1. Over to first. Not in time. Good call by the umpire, in my opinion, there.
Yep. She looks safe from here as Bohannon saw she's going to be out, so I think she maybe tried to get in the way of the throw a little bit, which is totally acceptable.
So Bohannon is thrown out going to second base now. So she's thrown out 4 to 6 for the second out. And now their coach is coming down to the box. We're supposed to have Trinity Bryant batting. And they're going to bring in a different batter here if we can catch a number.
22.
22.
She's not on our roster.
22 is Kemry Wells, who will be the batter then. Kemry Wells, 22 for Trinity Bryant.
Number 22, Kemry Wells is now batting for Bryant. Jones on deck.
So she stands in with 2 away now. And Mitchell at first. Swing and a miss on the first pitch by Kemry Wells from Indy Jones. So they've got a couple back here. They're staying alive. Be nice to get another one at least before the inning is over. We're in the bottom of the 5th. And, top of the 5th.
Ooh. Must have been low. That one looked good from up here.
1-1 the count. I was talking to Parm Patrick and giving him a hard time yesterday about this situation. He says, the thing that always gets him is the fan that's 100 yards down the fence line that can tell whether it was inside or outside, right? He says, that's the one that gets me. Like they can see it better from out there.
Yep.
That was a foul ball on the second strike now. 1-2 the count to Wells.
Don't you know, fans always know more than the officials. So.
And a called 3rd strike there to Wells as she strikes out here for the 8th strikeout of the game for Indy Jones. And that will end the top half of the 5th inning. And we'll go to the bottom now with a 5-3 score here. And Coach needs to be careful. He's getting cut a little bit of chin music with Parm as he goes by. But let's take a break. We'll be back with the bottom of the 5th.
At Auto Farm Price Ford, we make it happen for you.
Auto Farm Price Ford has your next truck at the guaranteed lowest price. Auto Farm will not be undersold. The time to buy is now. Auto Farm has a huge selection. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned Ford F-Series, including the unbeatable F-150, no one has more than Auto Farm. Find more great offers and all their inventory online at PriceFordSales.com.
At Auto Farm Price Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, we make it happen for you.
Beaver Valley Hospital continues to offer high-quality health care at the state's lowest price. Beaver Valley Hospital has state-of-the-art laboratory and radiology services, including cutting-edge X-ray and 3D ultrasound. The hospital also provides expanded surgical procedures for orthopedics and laparoscopic hysterectomy. Remodeled patient rooms and long-term care facilities combine with compassionate staff to provide our patients a comfortable and healing environment. Beaver Valley Hospital is a proud community supporter and is pleased to sponsor Beaver High School.
Come back here to Spanish Fork as we get ready at the bottom. Both coaches now have been able to give Parm Patrick, the home plate umpire, an earful. They've taken turns on him, and I'm sure he's a smarter man now than he was before, probably, right?
Yes.
So here we go. We'll be in the bottom of the fifth here. I believe there's a change or two maybe taking place. I'm not sure who it is. The coaches, he had his papers out of his pocket. We'll see what the changes might be before we're done here. It may be a re-entry of Trinity Bryant back in to third base after Wells batted for her. We'll see in a minute here. At the plate we have right now batting, we'll have Cameron Chandler, the right fielder, I believe. Cameron Chandler has been to the plate twice, got a single, and lined out to the first baseman. Swing and a miss.
And that was a great off-speed pitch by Shumway. She just fooled her.
So 1-1 the count here as we go to the bottom of the fifth here. 5-3 the score. South Summit in the lead. Turns the bunt, puts down a nice bunt. They weren't looking for it. Great play by the pitcher. The ball is missed by the first baseman. I thought that Shumway had made a superb play there. The ball was there in time, but unable to catch it.
Yeah, that was a great bunt.
I didn't see where the ball went. I just saw the closeness between that and the runner, so I'm not sure.
She almost threw it in behind the base.
Okay.
So good effort by Shumway, but just a little off on the throw.
So Cameron, another bunt goes to the pitcher. Nobody at second base. She'll go to first this time and get the out. And they just, when everybody charges like that, you've got to give something up, and they're giving second up. That time, I believe she had chance, had someone been there.
Yep.
But there was nobody there, so they get the out at first.
Yeah, that bunt didn't die as quickly, so it went right back to the pitcher. But like you said, nobody at second, so takes
advances the runner. Well, swing and a miss on a big changeup there by Shumway. Strike one. This is Broadbent at the plate. Brooklyn Pierce is on deck, and Emma Olson in the hole here in the bottom of the fifth. Wow.
Oh, that one looked real good.
Called ball. I'm glad you said that. People get tired of me complaining.
Looked good to me.
So 1-1 the count. A nice change apiece. Strike two. And it sounds as though on the other field over there, Millard has been defeated by Duchesne. So Duchesne will move back into the championship game. They will play Enterprise. Pop fly to Russ, second base, and she'll make the catch there. It was Trinity Bryant at second base, makes the play there. So it'll be two outs. So the 2A is down to two teams, Duchesne and Enterprise. And I believe they are the 1 and 2 seeds.
I think you're correct, and Enterprise is the defending state champions in 2A.
And then interesting, too, by this seeding thing, even though Enterprise is the undefeated, Duchesne is the home team based on seed. That's interesting.
It isn't. That is.
It used to be the last undefeated was naturally the home team.
Yeah, that kind of makes a little more sense, but.
Oh, well.
Oh, well, we don't make the rules, so.
We don't like them either, but no, I just. One strike on the batter, and two strikes on the batter. That's Peacock at the plate. Again, you've got Cameron Chandler at second, 2 out in the inning, and Peacock at bat with Emma Olson on deck. Winner of this ball game does go on to play Manti. at 12:30. That pitch a little high. Carroll quickly back to the pitcher with the ball. So 1-2 the count. Emma Olson on deck. Peacock at the plate. Peacock has got a single and a strikeout thus far in the ball game. Punches this towards second base. Diving catch,
nice catch
by Trinity Bryant. Kind of halfway in between. Do you let it drop and then throw them out, or do you make the catch?
Sometimes those drop, though, and they just, like you said, they'll go to one direction or the other. So smart play by Bryant as she makes a diving catch for the third out of the inning.
So makes a couple of catches there. That's the end of the fifth inning, and after 5 complete, we are 5-3 here in the ball game. We'll go to the 6th in just a minute.
At Central Valley Medical Center, we're committed to offering the best care.
In your life's first moments.
Through your life's biggest emergencies.
In your everyday help.
In those days that mean the most.
Central Valley Medical Center will be there with you through each step and stage of life, bringing the best care because we care, closer to home.
JN Auto loves our customers and our community, so we have sanitized our entire inventory. Mold, germs, and yes, coronavirus are eradicated. Our all-natural treatment is safe for you, your pets, and anyone you take along in your new ride. After 6 months, stop by and we can get you rolling germ-free again. Treatments are offered in a single application or a 1, 3, or 5-year contract. Stop by your local JN Auto location to learn more about our sanitizing options.
I'm Dr. Sorensen. I'm a board certified
Spanish Fork High School, Spanish Fork Softball Complex. Just checking to see if we had something online off air. We'll go to the top of the 6th inning now, Grand County batting, and they'll come up with Allie Jones and Hope Shumway, and then back to the top with Paige Shumway batting. First pitch to Allie Jones is a ball outside. Allie Jones struck out in the 2nd inning, and she sacrificed, 5-3 sacrifice in the 4th inning. Put the bunt down. The third baseman had to throw it to first, moved the runner over. Swing and a miss there, strike 1.
Yeah, great pitch by Jones, and she takes that, another rise ball that went to the outside, and big swing by Jones, but a miss.
Again, Hope Shumway will be on deck. Grand County with 6 outs left here now to make something happen. They're down by 2. Pop that one back against the screen. Will remain 1-2. Hope Shumway comes up next, and she flew out to second baseman and flew out to right field so far. The sacrifice there again in that 4th inning. Hit down the third baseline, up quick with it and over the diamond. Easily done by Reed Head to Broadbent, and easily done there on a soft roller down the third base line.
Yep, and I loved how Broadbent, she really squoze that ball at the end and kept it in her glove.
So that'll bring Hope Shumway to the batter's box. As we mentioned, she has gone to the right side both times, a fly out to the second baseman and a fly out to the right fielder. And we'll see what she can do here now, trying to get something going. One away here in the top of 6. And Shumway at the plate. She'll be followed by older sister Paige Shumway. A pop-up looks like it's going to be settled under by the second baseman again. So for the 3rd time, she's gone to the right side. All 3 flyouts, 2 of them to second and 1 to right.
You know, if I were Grand County, I would be telling their players to maybe settle down, not swing at that first pitch, because we've seen a lot of first pitches swung at and a lot of flyouts.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you can be a little too aggressive.
Yep.
Make the pitcher throw a little bit. Yeah. We used to try and make a rule that they had to get a strike call first, and then the complaint there is, though, you're giving up a lot of good strikes.
Yep.
A lot of good swings. Paige Shumway comes to the plate. she could make it a lot closer with one swing if she's able to get the right pitch. She has flown out to the right field and flown out to shortstop thus far in the ball game. She did get a hit the first time up, shot past the second baseman. So she stands in with 2 out here in the inning. Ball outside and low. I believe that's 2 balls now. And you know, you got the opportunity. We got Paige Shumway batting here. You can be careful with your pitches,
Yes.
even if you walk her.
Yep.
You might be better off to work with the players coming up behind.
Oh,
Rips
yep.
one down the line, and that's why you be careful right there.
In the first day, I think I did every one of Grand's games, and she did not strike out once.
Wow.
So it'd be interesting to see from yesterday what her,
Well,
if
given
she
time.
struck out, because
Given time, I could help you out.
she's been just a solid player for Grand County.
In the Grantsville game. In the Grantsville game, she was up, 5 times, scored 4 of them, got 4 hits.
Yeah, see.
And a base on ball.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she's been a quality player here at batting. She doesn't waste any at-bats. You might have heard that. It was a ball called inside, and one set of the fans just did not like the call. Rips the ball to second base.
Oh,
Short
great
hop,
play.
comes up with it and throws her out. So she keeps the unstrikeout record alive, but was unable to get on there as second baseman picks it up, goes to first for the 3rd out. So we're down to only 3 outs for Grand County. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th here when we come back.
I'm Dr. Sorensen. I'm a board-certified pediatrician, and I'm the newest addition to the team of doctors here at Central Valley Medical Center. My goal is to work closely with you when making decisions about your child's health. After all, you know them better than anyone else.
I think as a mom, it can be really overwhelming to find a doctor who's a really good fit for your family. I look for someone who I can trust. It's so validating and comforting knowing that I can call and get the answers I need from Dr. Sorensen and his staff.
I look forward to meeting you and your child and bringing you the best care closer to home.
The Intermountain Power Service Corporation is committed to supporting our local schools, communities, and the economies of central and south central Utah. Each year, IPSC's 2 950-megawatt generating units provide 3 million megawatt hours of energy for communities in Utah and Southern California. The Intermountain Power Project ranks among the best of coal-based power plants in reliability, cost-effectiveness, and environmental responsibility. IPSC, honored to sponsor this sports broadcast.
Welcome back here to Spanish Fort Complex as we go down to the bottom of the 6th inning. And up to bat is South Summit High School. And the first pitch from Shumway will be called a ball. Seems to have a very low strike zone on the top end.
Yes.
So ball 1. And batting is Emma Olson here.
That one, I don't know. Look good from here.
They both look like pretty good pitches, but 2 balls now to the batter, Olson. And she's scored twice. Emma Olson has in the 9th.
That one
position.
definitely a strike.
Better be. You're going down there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So she got singles both times off. And you know, that's great production out of the number 9 position. She's gotten singles both times and scored both times. Turns to bunt.
Oh.
But the end of the bat, into the screen, strike 2. So 2 strikes on the hitter, Olson. She hit it to center field her first time up and hit it to right field her second time up. Hits it to the second baseman, up with it, across the diamond, out. Trinity Bryant to Allie Jones. Nicely done. Record the first time they've been able to set Emma Olson down in the ball game.
Yeah, Olson's speedy too, and I thought Brian did a great job sitting on that ball and making the play to first.
And again, with that slap technique, you'd think out of that 9 position, if you could master that slap coming out of the 9th position, you could really make some havoc and actually be a second leadoff batter.
I know. So it's. I wonder why. I wonder what is the thinking of that people have won away from that.
Yeah. We have now Malia Bowen. She's also left-hand batting number 1, but she also doesn't really use the slap technique. She struck out the first time up. She took a base on balls the second time up and flew out to center field the third time up. Especially, you look at the way they defensively for her, that shortstop position. And some girls are really good at finding a spot. Slap it to first or third, shortstop. And that used to be so effective.
Yep.
So effective.
And just trying to get that ball to bounce really high and give you more time to get to the base. And
yeah.
I don't know. Is it because the pitching has gotten faster? I don't know.
Maybe. You always wonder, too, because you can't wait for the pitch here. That's a ball. But you with a bunt, if you foul it off on your third strike, it's an out.
Right.
But with the slap technique, you can foul it off and foul it off, and you can continue to come at it. So, anyway, not using it. We're not coaching right now. So 3-0 the count. Now she turns to fake the bunt, lets it go, and wow, ball 4.
So an uncharacteristic walk for Paige Shumway is the strike zone is not being kind to her at the moment.
So we got a runner on with 1 down now, and Avery Snyder comes to the plate. Snyder was grounded out to the shortstop. First pitch is a hit down the third baseline. It stays fair. They're going to come across the diamond. Pitch is in the dirt, not able to come up with it, the first baseman. Runners coming around. The throw will come back into pitcher Shumway. So will advance 1 base, but not able to come home. Avery Snyder. And that's a throwing error on the third baseman because it was there in time, but the ball was in the dirt at first. And again, they always told me, you got to make the rest of the team look good. But unable to come up with it there. And Allie Jones just not able to come up with it. When the dust clears, you've got Malia Bowen at third base, and you've got Avery Snyder at second base. And Grand can ill afford to put any more points on the board here. Allow them to score. Indy Jones, the pitcher, up to bat. She takes a mighty swing on the first pitch, strike 1.
And Jones would love to give herself a little more cushion going into that 7th inning. And the base hit would probably score 2 as they're speedy runners.
She's got 2 hits on the day. That flutters to the outside, ball 1. So she got a hit in the first inning. She got a hit in the 4th inning. So like you say here, a hit right now is 2 runs easy.
Oh.
That's going to be deep into left center field. Is it going to be enough to get the fence? It is not. The catch. Is the catch made?
That was a great catch. Yeah, that was a great catch out in by the. I don't know if that was by the left fielder or not. Both of them were running, and
it was caught by the center fielder as she ran behind. I couldn't tell if she'd caught it or not, but she makes the catch. So the catch is made there for the second out. It does give Malia Bowen a chance to tag up and come in, and Avery Snyder moves to third. So 6-3 the score now, with the runner still in scoring position. That ball's popped up the left side, third baseman, and that's Shumway settles underneath it and makes the catch. And it has some words for somebody in the dugout.
Yes, they were probably yelling at her to miss it in the dugout. So.
Yeah, and now they tell the coach. The coach is going to tell the official for some jaw music coming off that side. End result is the fly was to the third baseman, and that's an out. And at 6-3 the score. Now Grand County has got their work cut out for them. They have to, and it's always difficult, I felt like, when you've got to score as many runs in one inning as you scored in a whole ball game.
Yep.
That's pretty tough to do, and that's kind of where they're at right now. As they have to score 3 runs here to keep playing, and they've only scored 3 in the game. We'll bring to the plate, we'll have Hallie Packard, Lexi Carroll, and Lainey Bohannon. So they are in the part of the order that they can make it happen. The first 2 could get on, and Bohannon could get around on 1. So the possibility exists, but you've got an awfully good team in front of you in South Summit.
It is, and a lot of times when players start to feel the pressure, they just start to swing at everything. So,
So they're
Jones
still
could have the upper hand right here.
Still talking a little bit to the coach about the chin music, but whatever was being said, they were riding her a little bit about catching the ball, and both her and the older sister both made a comment to the dugout as they ran away. Here we go, though. We didn't take a break, so I didn't have to worry about talking off air on the radio. We didn't give Barrett a chance to nail us with that one. Appreciate Barrett and his daughters doing the work here today. In the last 3 days, they have done a tremendous job here for Centricom. So, here we go. Hallie Packard at the plate. She has reached on an error and has flown out to right field.
That one caught the outside corner. Strike one.
Strike on the outside corner. The winner of this will turn around and play Manti. They'll have to beat Manti twice in order to win the championship, but it will be the championship game, first or second. Loser here goes home with their head hanging down, but they are third place in the state. That's pretty good. Ball's hit to the right side. Nicely done by Brooklyn Peacock, ranging to her left. Tosses it to Broadbent. One down here in the 7th inning. That'll bring Lexi Carroll to the plate now. Lexi Carroll, the catcher. She'll be batting from the left side. Again, you very seldom see a left-handed catcher, but she does an excellent job back there. So she stands in. She has 2 singles on the day. First pitch is a called strike. She has singled it into center field both times up. She was able to score in the 5th inning as one of the 3 runs that have been scored. But 2 for 3 on the day, and the other, she's been on all 3 times. The other time she was hit by a pitch. So she's been up 3 times and been on 3 times. Fouls it straight back. Strike 2.
And now she must protect as she's down 0-2 in the count, and Jones has got those many pitches she can throw. So we'll see if she throws her something to hit or maybe just throws her some junk.
And she really is in control here because she can do anything she wants with 3 balls. Except throwing it in the dirt's probably not a good one. That's,
no.
That's not going to fool too many people.
No.
yeah,
we did tell her she could do anything.
I better say that differently next time. Throwing it in the dirt or up against the screen would not be a good idea. Not going to fool too many people there, but she can nibble at the corners. Foul, little up and in, foul ball. Good pitch there. It looks luscious up there around the eyes, but it's hard to get up there and get it.
It does. Those high pitches, everybody loves them.
And we got some chatter coming from behind us. Somebody's upset behind us. We won't tell you who it is, but Pepper needs to be careful. So reach out defensively and slaps it foul. Does Carroll to stay alive. Stays the count is 1-2 the count here. A battle going on here between Carroll and Shumway. Down the middle, ripped down the line, going to go foul. Air on the coach.
Yeah. Come on, Coach, get your glove down.
Lots of going on. Get that hand down there. Get it centered on your body. Brick it up. Soft hands. It's one of those things you look at that and say, you know, if we played that way, that's not the way you coach us. You know, if you played that way, we'd get after us. So we're still at 1-2. Still 1 down in the inning. Still trailing by 3. Grand trying to make something big happen here. Pops it up. Right side, first baseman calling for it. And Emma Broadbent makes the catch. So we're down to the last out of the ball game. A lot can happen with 2 outs. Lainey Bohannon comes to the batter's box, and she has been largely frustrated. She struck out, and she does have 2 singles, but not the power hitting that she's used to. So here we go. Pops it up. Catcher can't quite get back to it. That could have ended it quickly there, but it's just a strike. She took a mighty swing. It went up in the air, and the catcher had to get around the umpire, not able to get there in time.
I think I was talking to someone yesterday. Don't you feel like you were always the one with 2 outs, top of the 7th, and you're the one up? So it's a lot of pressure, but You know, you got to pull through for your team.
Not me. If I was in that position, my coach would pull me out. So she's going to loop one just over the head of the first baseman. Second baseman gets there almost in time to make the play, but Bohannon beats it out. And she'll get the hit just over. So she's got 3 hits on the day, but not the power swings that we're used to out of Bohannon. She does get herself on. She does keep the inning alive. And now we have Wren coming to the base. Bree Wren is up to bat, and I hope we're saying that right. She has 3 strikeouts. First pitch is up, I believe. Yep, ball 1. Bree Wren. And she stands in there, done a nice job at shortstop for them. Has had a couple of throwing mishaps. See if she can keep this inning going. Hits the ball up the middle. Second baseman's going to get there. Toss to shortstop. It's over, folks. Nice play. Second to shortstop for the 3rd out. And Wren puts the ball in play, but not hard enough. And so the year will be over for Grand County as they will fall 6-3 here in this ball game. They should be satisfied. They are 3rd in the state, which I don't think anybody expected them to get to.
No.
But they've had a great tournament and played well and played hard. And South Summit, their year continues now as they will come back against Manti. That game is scheduled for 12:30. And we'll be bringing that ball game also about a half hour away. So they'll fix the field, change some things around, and we'll be ready for you in about 30 minutes. So we'll be right back in 30.